Hi guys, how are you doing? Welcome to today's pick a card reading, and it is spirit guide messages. So it's messages from your spirit guide about your situation. So you may have a specific situation in mind. If you do, that's absolutely fine. If you don't, that's fine. It will be a general bit of advice for the next step in your life. So this is spirit guide messages. Don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell if you want to be notified of the weekly readings. Also, I do upload every day on Instagram and TikTok, so please check the description below for a link to those things. And also, if you want a private reading with me, you can also check the links in the description box below. Without further ado, let's get on with spirit guide messages for this week. Hi Group 1, how are you doing? So your spirit guide messages, we've got two clarifying oracle cards from the Sonia Choquette Divine Energy Oracle. So the spirit guide messages are 5 of coins, 2 of wands, the Emperor, the Ace of cups, and clarified with make no judgments and express your joy. Okay, so what I can see for you regarding this situation or in general in your life is that for a while you felt isolated, alone, something hasn't been going well. This is in the past, not necessarily now, although some of you may still be experiencing it at the moment. What they're saying is that you have historically felt like you've been out in the cold, or you've been rejected, or you've been isolated. There's been this sense of feeling lonely on your own, like you haven't got enough of what you needed. It's been a struggling time, or you've had a struggling time regarding your life in general or this situation in the past. They're asking you to make no judgments. Don't jump to a conclusion that this is bad. Because what I feel very strongly is this isn't a bad situation for you, but was almost like an inner pilgrimage. It was like an opportunity to learn something, to gain a skill, to gain experience. So don't be too quick to feel dragged down by the fact that this part of your life or this situation has been negative or unfortunate, because actually it is giving you somehow a platform to ultimately be very happy. What they're saying is that the process is, this is almost like a process of renewal. So you may still be here or you may be here. So I'm going to talk about it as if from here to here, but you may have already experienced this a while ago. You may still be at this stage. Okay, so yes, there was this difficult situation, but rather than making a judgment about it and feeling a poor me energy, a lack energy, the best attitude is to express your joy, to focus on what is good in your life, to focus on the joy in your life. You may find that if you're in this sort of beginning stages, you might find it difficult to get that off the ground. That's okay. If you feel stuck and that you've gone through a period or are going through a period where things just don't seem to move, you don't need to worry too much. It's a planning stage. 2 of wands. Really what they're wanting you to do is to spread your wings here, to widen your horizons, to see that there's a lot of opportunities that maybe you haven't noticed before, and start making some big, bold plans. Eventually, you will have the chance to take action with the Emperor. You will be able to move forward. And where are you moving to? A new emotional beginning, where you take action on your life, you direct your life towards something better. You've got a new emotional start coming. It may be romantic. There is a very good chance of that. But it can just be a new emotional beginning. It could be a relocation or a different job or a different friendship circle or joining a new hobby or something like that. But you're going to get this sense of abundance and new emotional fulfillment in the near future. But you need to do that by dreaming big, getting a better idea of what you need to do to get there, and then taking massive action. But don't worry if you're still in this early stages and you feel like, yeah, I need to take massive action, Kat, but I don't know where to go. You know, you will know where to go when the time is right. Make the plans as they come. Try not to force it. That's what I would say. Don't be too judgmental about yourself and everyone around you. Try to relax as much as you can, even if you're in this early stage, which feels uncomfortable. You will get a chance to direct your life in a new direction. but it needs to be coming from joy rather than from anger or fight or resistance or fear. Okay, so make sure that you are as non-judgmental as possible, that you're as joyful as possible, and that if you do feel stuck, that you see this as just a planning phase and that you're just open to the universe bringing you new ideas. When the time is right, you will move forwards towards this new emotional beginning. Hope this makes sense. Loads of love, guys. Have a great week. I'll see you on the next reading, a private reading in the meantime, or over on Instagram or TikTok. See you there. Hi, guys. How are you doing? So, your spirit guide messages for this week. Let's have a look. We've got the Hermit, King of Swords, Page of Wands, Knight of Swords. We've got clarifiers of build on solid ground and think things through. Okay, so your messages are very much about being objective and more, I want to use the word savvy, more strategic or smart when it comes to taking decisions, making decisions or acting. We've got a lot of different people energy, if you like, here. We've got a King of Swords, a Page of Wands and a Knight of Swords. We've got the Hermit. What it looks like to me, they're trying to express to you very strongly, is that you could be making judgments or you could be taking actions that are not very well thought through. It looks like that to me. Build on solid ground is like the tower for me. This is the Sonia Choquette Divine Energy Oracle. It's saying, you know, everything that's not solid needs to be broken down. You need to build on a solid foundation. They're asking you to think things through. The King of Swords is very logical, very focused mental acuity, really understanding what's going on, really razor sharp insight, vision, and intellectual ability. The Hermit is about going inside for inner wisdom. The Knight of Swords in the future slightly, you know, because this is almost like a progression, this slightly concerns me. There's a risk that you could be jumping to a conclusion or rushing into something before you've thought it through properly. There's something you want to do. You may have got on like a flight of fancy. The Page of Wands isn't normally this way. It's more a Page of Cups energy. But you've got inspired by something is what they're saying. And there's nothing wrong with that. Investigate by all means, but don't become delusional. There's a difference between following inspiration and being delusional. And they're not saying you are being delusional. They're saying just be aware and just be careful, because there's a real need at the minute for you to listen to inner wisdom, for you to slow down, for you to not rush into anything, for you to make sure that everything you're doing is built on solid ground and is really well thought through, that it makes sense. I mean, not everything we do intuitively makes complete sense. Sometimes we're encouraged or urged or feel an instinct to do something that's a little bit offbeat, that's a little bit unusual. But we're never encouraged to do something that is dangerous or I can't think of the right word, that's difficult or betrays ourselves. That was the word I was trying to look for, betrays. You know, if you feel like you're feeling an impulse to do something that could put you in any sort of danger mentally, emotionally, spiritually, physically, this is not a good idea, obviously. So all they're saying is just be mindful of what you're choosing. Be clever, be smart, think things through, use your head. That's the key at the moment, is just to use your head and to be sensible. You may need to take some time to yourself. I think that there's a possibility that you could get swept up in the moment. That's why they're encouraging you to be the Hermit, to take some time to yourself, to really think it through, to sleep on it or give it a couple of days or whatever, so that you know that any decision you're making is really on solid ground. Yes, investigate and have fun with the Page of Wands to your heart's content. You've probably got an inspiration that is a good idea, but and it might be right in part, but what I'm feeling is that for the majority of you, that there is more to this, and that by jumping in too quickly, you could actually leave yourself feeling quite distressed or stressed out, because you will maybe jump into something that you later regret. And that then causes issues for you trying to unpick the situation. So basically, make sure what you do is on solid ground. Make sure you take some time to think things through alone. Go within, take your time, take it steady. Investigate by all means, but just don't be too rash. That's the message for you regarding your situation. Loads of love, guys. I'll see you on the next reading or private reading in the meantime, or of course, over on TikTok or Instagram. See you later, guys. Hi Group 3, how you doing? We've got 2 clarifiers today from the Divine Energy Oracle by Sonia Choquette. So, your spirit guide messages, we've got the Ten of Cups, the Eight of Swords, the Magician, the Fountain, which is peculiar to the Fountain Tarot card. It comes after the World in the Major Arcana. It's kind of like isness, stillness, beingness. Laugh at your demons and accept what's dying. Okay, your spirit guide messages are very clear. You're on the right path now, but you're being put off by fears from your past. You have still got your warning signals going, or you're kind of checking the horizon constantly to see if anything might go wrong. You have a decent amount of fear. 8 of Swords, there's a decent amount of fear around your situation. It's very likely to be a sort of emotional situation. You've got a situation going on that at the minute, or potentially that is a happily ever after situation. It's very good. Everything's great. But for whatever reason, I think because of what's happened in the past, you feel afraid. But actually, this 8 of Swords is the fear. But 8 of Swords is really self-generated fear. It's not... it is real because obviously it's your own fear. But what I mean is it's not really based on reality. It's just your own worries and fears that are reflections and reverberations from the past. In actual fact, you have the capacity to be the magician, to manifest what you want. The Magician with the Fountain next to it is really strong. You're manifesting a higher level energy. You're drawing in something much, much higher. But in order to really connect with this, you have to let go of the past. Now this is really important. You have to laugh at your demons, accept what died or what is dying. There was a past situation that somehow you're still at odds with. You're still not totally at peace with it, or you still feel somehow kind of annoyed with it is the wrong word, but like it's still in some way aggravates you, or is a kind of has left a trace in your inner environment, you know. There's somehow, some way you can't accept it. So whether it's that you felt you failed, or someone failed you, or, you know, something has been left unresolved, that needs to be let go of. Because if you could accept it for what it is, and not feel, excuse me, if you could accept it for the way it was and not feel so stressed by it, you wouldn't... if you could accept it as it was and release it, then you wouldn't have to keep dealing with this sense of fear. Because I think really the fear is like the trapped residual energy around this old situation. So it's like when the fear comes up, rather than taking it seriously, there's a need to laugh at it and also accept what ended. Accept the past is over now. The message really is that you've got a good situation going on now. You have no real reason to be afraid. You are manifesting what you want, and you can manifest what you want. You have everything you need, and you are moving towards a much, much higher energy. And this is really, really good for you. So I hope this makes sense. Loads of love, guys. I will see you on the next reading or private reading in the meantime. Don't forget to check out Instagram and TikTok for daily updates. Loads of love, guys. See you next week.